Good afternoon. I'm Steven Bergman, one of your hosts of Law is Stranger Than Fiction.
And I'm Barry Shoal, the other host.
We are shareholders in the Salt Lake City law firm of Richards, Brent, Miller, Nelson. And today's story is frankly just plain nuts. Barry?
Yes, this, ironically enough, is a story that comes out of Gun Barrel, Colorado, in rural Boulder County.
Does it involve a weapon?
It does involve a weapon. And it also involves squirrels.
Does it involve a weapon being used on the squirrels?
Not on the squirrels. It involves a weapon used in an altercation over the feeding of squirrels.
Okay, what were these squirrels being fed?
Pounds of peanuts, according to news reports.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more about the story.
The defendant had been in the habit of leaving several pounds of peanuts around the neighborhood to feed area squirrels. Do you want to know why he was feeding area squirrels?
Well, I actually kind of more concerned about the several pounds of peanuts being left around the neighborhood, given the number of kids today with peanut allergies. But sure, why was he feeding the squirrels?
Well, according to news reports, he was feeding squirrels because it made him feel closer to his deceased parents.
Of course. I mean, that seems so obvious. We should have thought of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's planting or dropping off pounds of peanuts throughout the area. Was he doing anything else?
Well, he was leaving flyers around the neighborhood as well, asking his neighbors not to remove the peanuts and signing them the squirrel guy.
Okay. So he's contributing to both litter and potential allergic reactions throughout the neighborhood. What else?
Well, according to his neighbors, they objected to the squirrels leaving husks around the neighborhood and was involved in a dispute with some of his neighbors over whether or not it was proper to be feeding the squirrels.
Okay. So what happened that led to the altercation in Gun Barrel?
Well, one of his neighbors removed a flyer. Evidently, this was one of the neighbors who had been vocal in his criticism of the practice of feeding squirrels. The two became involved in a dispute, and the defendant shot his neighbor in the buttock.
Okay. So now, from what I understand, after he shot his neighbor, he then turned himself in, right?
That is correct.
Okay. And so he gets charged.
Yes.
Right? It actually went through a trial, right? No plea bargain here.
No plea bargain. Tried in Boulder County, Colorado.
What was his defense?
His defense was self-defense.
Okay. So he was protecting his non-existent right to drop off peanuts in the area to feed squirrels.
Apparently, yes.
So how did that self-defense claim work out for the defendant?
Not so well. A jury convicted him, and a judge sentenced him to 12 years in prison for second-degree attempted murder and first-degree assault.
That's just plain nuts. Okay. So I guess he's cooling his heels somewhere as a guest of the state of Colorado at this point.
I believe that is correct, and I think the judge summed things up when she noted that this was all precipitated by a petty dispute over the feeding of squirrels that, quite frankly, is just so unfortunate.
So 3 petties.
3 petties.
That's seriously petty.
Yes,
so
very petty.
it's more than a NASCAR race. But
she added that even if the neighbors were mean to the defendant, that certainly didn't give him license to shoot an unarmed man in the back. Actually, we believe that was in the buttock.
Okay. So the moral of this story is if you're going to feed the squirrels, maybe leave the weapons at home.
Yes.
So you don't want to get too angry there. Hopefully your life does not involve armed altercations in public areas over the feeding of squirrels. But if strange things happen to you and you need an attorney, please give the attorneys at Richards, Brent, Miller, Nelson a call. And for now, this is Law is Stranger Than Fiction.